now let's bring in our other geometry. So to get out of this node, let's click here, back to OBJ view, and I'm going to create another geometry node, and I'm going to name this lion anim geo, and another geometry node, and this I'm going to name lion eyes, teeth, claw, geo. Basically, I want to bring in the walk and the run cycle skin in this node, and I only want it to be the skin because I want to be able to transfer the fur to this mesh, and it needs to be the same as this guy in order to do that. So I want to render the eyes and the teeth, so I'm going to bring it in this separate geometry here that won't be interfering with the groom at all. So I'm going to double click into this node and bring in, oops, tab, geometry, oh no, sorry, Alembic, unpack, convert, and this will be the walk, and same deal, we only want the skin, and then I'm just gonna, oh, right, star this, copy, paste, this, we're gonna bring in the run. Okay, and I also have to do a time warp because I want the animation to cycle, but I also want it to be on the first frame because this animation, the input range is actually, oh, and I want to change the shift range. Okay, it's actually 12 to 47, so that's the first frame and last frame, but I want it to start on the animation to start on the first frame. So I'm adding this time warp here, and I'm just gonna name this time warp walk. Then we're gonna add another time warp for the run. I could do this in Maya and re-export it, but I thought I would just show you how to do this just in case. Okay, and 82. And I want to change this to post cycle so that the animation loops. Okay, now switch node. This switch node is so that I could, as it says, switch between the run and the walk. And I'm going to add a transform. So if I go and view this, okay. So he's walking, and if I go to the switch node, the select input, so you can see it's selecting the first input 0. Let me name this run. And if I change this to 1, it's now selecting the run. And I want to go and drop down a null and name it out for transfer view. Okay, and oops, let's just leave it on the walk cycle for now. And same thing here, line eyes, teeth, claws. So let's go, let's copy this, paste that. But we also want to for our own purpose of testing, we want to render the bind geo. So I'm going to copy this. Okay. And we can drag and drop here to reorder. So I actually just want the bind to be input 1. That looks good. And of course we actually, since I copied this, I just need to make sure we don't have this selected. Okay, and I'm going to add a blast node. And I want to blast everything but the skin. So remember how we had that path attribute in the primitives? I can say at path equals, and I want to select the skin. So this will look for everything that has the naming skin. You could also put the exact path, but I know that these geometries are named differently, but they do have skin in it. So if I press enter and view this, you'll see it's blasted everything but the eyes. And also I don't actually want to render the claws, just because it looked a bit strange to me. Cats don't normally have their claws out all the time, so I just made the artistic decision to get rid of it. So we can continue writing in this as well. There. And again, you can manually select with the arrow, but it's easier just to do it this way. Now I'm also going to drop down a subdivide node. And rename this null to be out eye teeth geo. Now you can see, I'm viewing this, but we can see everything else that is visible in the scene. If I go here, right, it's set to ghost other objects. I can change it to show all objects. I can also change it to hide other objects. And that's one way you can adjust seeing everything in your scene. Okay,